Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys Magic. This is Hunter, David, and Shane. Say what up, boys.
What's going on?
What's up, nerds?
We are back this time doing another day of spoilers from Modern Horizons 3. That's right. We are still playing in Modern, or are we? Because a lot of people think it's just another Commander set. What do you think, Dave?
It's Commanders.
Hey, I know you're like the resident Modern player here, so I gotta come at you sometimes. But yeah, we got another daily dose of spoilers. Before we get started, I just want to remind everybody we are only talking about the rares and mythics that are brand new. That's right. We are not talking about uncommons, commons, or reprints, because Ophiomancer got a reprint, and we're not going to talk about that because you know what that is.
Thanks.
Snakes, exactly. But before we get started, if you wanted to see all of those cards, check our Instagram. It's at Guys at Magic for that to see all the other spoilers. So let's go ahead and start it off with this first card. It is a card we missed from yesterday. It's Harbinger of the Seas. It's 1 and 2 blue for a 2/2 creature merfolk wizard. It just says non-basic lands or islands.
Sweet.
Yep. What do you think, Dave?
It's a Magus of the Blue Moon?
Magus of
Exactly.
the Blue Moon. That is exactly right.
It's a merfolk. That's fantastic.
Yeah, who cares? Give any merfolk that has island walk, you are chillin'.
Yeah.
Is this as good as just like the Blood Moon style of effect of turning your non-basics into mountains?
I wouldn't see why not.
Might be better.
I argue that this is probably worse.
Really? Why?
I would much rather my opponent have red mana than blue mana.
What if they don't have any blue spells, though?
True.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're just
At
turning
the
them off
same
the color
point.
they don't
You're
have.
just turning them off the color, yeah.
Yeah, but see, look here. That's still like if they've got 2 untapped mana, that's now 2 untapped blue. Okay?
I get that
And
that's
everybody who's
terrifying.
played Magic has the PTSD of looking over there and being like, that's counterspell mana right there.
Yep. In the Hunter's mono red deck, that's a counterspell right there.
Exactly. See?
That is a counterspell if I've ever seen one.
I think it's
Yeah,
fantastic, dude.
I think it's great. I think it'll see play.
Yep.
Especially since Merfolk is a tribe. I said tribe, god damn it. Especially since Merfolk is a kindred that already exists in Magic. I think this is a fantastic include.
I'll put it in Hackball.
I'm going to say this card is meh.
All
All right,
right.
Steven.
But yeah, this is bad quality because it was ripped from an arena video. So this is not an actual leak. This is an actual spoiler, believe it or not. But yeah, let's move on to the cards from today. First up, Wrath of the Skies. It's X and 2 white for a sorcery. It says you get X energy counters. Then you may pay any amount of energy. Destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with mana value less than or equal to the amount of energy paid this way. This is a fantastic sweeper for an Energy Matters deck. The new one in the set.
Same with energy, yeah, I think so. On its own, though, if you're not running energy, it's kind of weird, right?
Yes, it is. I mean, granted, you get to pay into that to get that and spend it immediately. But if you are just an energy deck and you have energy laying around, 2 mana, complete board wipe of creatures, enchantments, and artifacts, sounds pretty nuts.
It's less than or equal to, so it's not just going to kill everything. I think that if you're not playing a like dedicated energy deck, this card is not playable. And even if you are playing dedicated energy, like I like how they are expanding this, especially since like I just had to build the Fallout Commander deck, of which there was a limited number of energy cards. So like this is a cool inclusion, and it gives you something to do whenever you have a massive amount of energy and absolutely just like nothing to spend it on. It's a neat effect for those very niche decks.
Yeah, and I will be doing the energy upgrade for this precon cycle, and let me tell you, this is probably an include.
At the same time, though, a lot of the like big payoffs that you want for energy are artifacts, so this is going to be wiping away your engines too.
It's potential, yeah. Depends on if my stuff just got bounced from a Psych Rift or something. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next card. I think it's everybody's favorite. It's Strix Serenade. It's 1 blue mana for an instant that says counter target artifact, creature, or planeswalker spell. Its controller creates a 2/2 bluebird creature token with flying. It's the opposite of Swan Song. It's not song, it's Serenade. I think it's pretty cool. I like this card a lot, and the art is amazing.
Yep, I love it. We'll see play for sure.
I think this card is really interesting.
Ed?
Like, I see the very obvious comparison to Swan Song. However, because it functions literally on all the things that Swan Song does not,
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about this. I like being able to counter an artifact, specifically because like this is a turn 1 drop. So this is a counter your opponent's Soul Ring and potentially like really trip them up. It gets rid of the cheap little creatures that your opponents could be dropping down. So same thing whenever it comes to like utility or mana dorks. Planeswalker spells, I guess that's cool. That's probably my least important thing about this card. But I'm not convinced. I think I like Swan Song better because I think Swan Song probably hits more things than I actually need to get countered.
I think you run both.
I don't think you do run both. I think that these kind of effects are cute, but like at a certain point, you actually just need like more widespread counter spells.
I don't know, man. 1 mana, if we're talking from, because our channel is obviously geared towards commander, I'm probably running both. 1 mana counter your commander seems pretty easy to include.
It does, but at the same time, it's like we have another free counterspell already included from this set. We got Fierce Guardianship, we have Force of Negation, you have like just counterspell, Mana Drain, Swan Song. Like you have all of these counters that already see play in this format.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point, I feel like you hit that critical threshold of like you start looking at your cards and like, okay, well, which ones are going to actually start getting cut from my deck? I think Strix Serenade is probably one of the first ones we're going to look at and cut. Like in all fairness, like I know that this hits a lot and this is really cool, but I would still play a negate over this.
I think you're thinking about it in the way that you're thinking of those counter spells in protecting your like win pattern. This is more, it feels like a casual card where it's not casual, but when you play more at this level that we play EDH, you'll see a lot more creatures and artifacts being cast. Whereas like those other cards are good to like stop the win.
I think actually Shane just like highlighted it for me is maybe it's just like a shift on perspective. Like this is designed to mess up your opponent, not to prevent your opponent from messing you up.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up, Argent Dais. It's 1 and a white for an artifact that says it enters the battlefield with 2 oil counters on it. It also says whenever 2 or more creatures attack, put an oil counter on Argent Dais. You can also pay 2, tap it, remove 2 oil counters from Argent Dais to exile another target non-land permanent. Its controller draws 2 cards. We have what feels like a leftover card from March of the Machines.
Yeah, or OB1, something.
But once again, like we said yesterday, from a card that I felt like was from Murders at Karlov Manor, this is probably a card they playtested and thought, ooh, a little too powerful for standard. Let's move it into modern.
Yeah.
What do we think, Dave?
No.
No? Just like that?
I don't know. I mean, like it's cute, but like I don't think that this card is modern playable. So like look, here's the thing. I do completely agree with your perspective. Like this feels like a leftover card that maybe didn't make the cut. Maybe this was like an aftermath card that we're like, you know, we really want this. We want more oil design, but we just don't have a space for it. And it's now here. I think this is way too slow for modern. This strikes me honestly as a commander card. Like the way that this thing is worded, like you get it down relatively early. 2 mana is not super difficult for you to feed into it later on. And whenever 2 or more creatures attack, so if your opponents A, B, and C are attacking with 2 or more creatures, this is building up oil counters.
Yeah, it's true. I understand that.
Like this is an EDH card, I feel like, from the ground up.
For sure. I agree with you that. Would you play it?
I don't generally like removal spells that are going to sit and play. Not because they're not good, but because it kind of like telegraphs and it forces people to play around it. So like if, for example, if my opponent has this in play and I know that they have the ability to just like destroy my thing, I don't know. It depends on how much I value that thing. I may wait a little bit until like maybe they don't have the mana up. At the same time though, like there's a real downside here. You're getting rid of their thing, but they're also drawing 2 cards.
Yeah. Drawing 2 cards, I think, is where I kind of lose interest.
I mean, you are exiling the thing, though, and it's non-land permanent, which means it hits pretty much everything but lands.
Yeah, he might find a
So,
place somewhere then.
I don't know. Seems good.
I might use this on my own stuff.
You know?
There you go. Use it on tokens. Get some card advantage. Let's go ahead and move on. This next one is a new legendary creature. It's Phlage, Titan of Fire's Fury. It's one, a red, and a white for a 6/6 legendary creature Elder Giant. It says when it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped. It says whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, it deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. It also has an escape cost of 2 red, 2 white, and exile 5 other cards from your graveyard. Is this good, Dave?
I actually do really like this card.
I know you do.
This is so Lightning Helix in the first go around for it. There are ways that you can prevent this from like having to sacrifice. So that's kind of cute, and actually you do have access to it with white. Also, escape is really not that difficult, and then once this thing does come back, it's going to get that Lightning Helix a second time, and now it's a 6/6 with a repeatable Lightning Helix whenever it attacks.
Pretty cool.
Like, this card is going to do a massive amount of damage.
Yeah.
I like this card a lot. I think I like it still less than the other 2 Elder Giants that we've gotten.
Because the other elders are what, from Kaldheim?
The ones that I'm thinking of, so this completes the cycle from Theros. So this is Croxa and, oh my god, what was the one that was banned? Euro.
Mm. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I think this is a pretty cool card as well. I am a fan.
You think it'll get played in anything other than EDH, like modern?
Ooh, that's a good question, Dave. I think you, like I said, you're the more tuned in to the modern community. What do you think about this in modern?
I think it's a cool card. Just seeing play in modern. Lightning Helix for 3 mana is not great. And like you can fairly reliably escape this, but I just don't think that's what you want to be doing with your game plan. This is just a little bit too slow.
I was gonna say it seems a little slow.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next card. This is Emperor of Bones. It's 1 and a black for a 2/2 creature, Skeleton Noble. This is at the beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. It has an ability to pay 1 and a black to adapt to, and it also says whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on Emperor of Bones, put a creature card exiled with Emperor of Bones onto the battlefield under your control with a finality counter on it. It gains haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. I am a fan. The Emperor of Bones.
Cool recursion.
Definitely. And there are ways to get rid of those finality counters. Granted, you are going to still sacrifice it because that is stapled onto the card.
Yeah.
But that means you can continue to recur that one card over and over.
That's true.
As long as you have a significant way to put counters on this.
Yeah, besides this, the first adapt. Or ways
Yeah.
to take counters off of this.
That too. What do you think, Dave?
This card is really weird. Part of me wants to like it, part of me wants to hate it. So the fact that you can exile like anything from your opponent's graveyard, I think is really cool. If it wasn't just limited to recurring creatures, I think I would like this a lot more. It's neat for like a mid-rangey style. You can take advantage of any of your like discard effects or any of your removal. That way you can kind of play around with what your opponent has. This is just like I feel like maybe there's just a little bit too much setup here. I still think the card is neat, but in order to like use this ability reliably, I don't know if I see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it in certain decks. Granted, black is not the best when it comes to counters, but I can see this going off pretty frequently.
It's a skeleton bear.
Skeleton Bear. That's right. A 2-mana 2/2. Pretty cool. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if this sees play. This one I liked. Moving on to another legendary creature. It is the Necrobloom. It's 1, a white, a black, and a green for a 2/7 legendary creature plant. It's got Landfall that says whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 0/1 green plant creature token. If you control 7 or more lands with different names, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token instead. Also, land cards in your graveyard have Dredge too.
That's
This
sick,
seems
dude.
like a really fun card.
This is gonna be a sick commander.
Yeah. This is Field of the Dead on a creature.
With Dredge. That Dredge is
With
really powerful, dude.
with lands with Dredge, yeah.
When has Dredge ever been a broken
Oh,
mechanic?
shut the... Yeah, exactly. Since its inception.
Yeah, Dredge isn't broken, I swear. I don't think we can say anything else, but this card is good, right, Dave?
I like the fact that this card exists. I think it's really cool. Why is this in this product?
Because
What
it's
do you mean?
modern, dude.
This is
There
modern
is
playable.
there is nothing about this that is modern playable.
Okay. You heard it here
Dredge,
first,
dude.
guys.
Dredge.
It is Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024. In about 2 months, when Modern is kicking off again, and this is on a deck that just blows up.
Come back and
We'll
check the
see.
stamp.
Yeah, timestamp.
Timestamp.
Now, don't get me wrong. This is going to be a sought-after card. This is a great card for Commander. I feel like they missed the name on this product.
The joke.
Yeah,
We
we'll
never...
see.
Every product going forward seems like it's a commander product.
But yeah, we will talk more about this as a potential commander in our commander grades video. So stay tuned.
Seems like a fun one.
Definitely. Moving on to Warren, Soultrader. It's 2 and a black for a 3/3 creature, zombie goblin wizard. It's got an ability we can pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature to create a treasure token. Dave, you love these kind of effects, the gain and drain. Using sacrifice
Not once per
effects.
turn, dude. Holy moly.
Not
This-
tap treasure token
Not
either,
tap-
dude.
yeah,
I like
holy
this card a
moly.
lot.
Yeah,
This is
you're not
awesome.
paying any. You're not paying any mana into this either.
Yeah.
Zombie, goblin, and wizard, so it's got relevant types on this.
This is sick.
Cards are pretty nuts.
I love the
No.
old art too. No?
It doesn't
No?
have to be sick. You can use its ability right
Oh,
away.
shut up.
Okay.
You're right, dude.
Here, Dave. We'll go back to the modern conversation. Is this modern playable?
This is more what I would expect from a product like this. It is somewhat low to the ground. It's got like decent stats. 3 mana is getting to the point where it's starting to become a little bit more expensive, but at the same time, this is a very powerful ability. It gives you a free sack outlet so long as you have the life. Creates this treasure tokens for you. I do like this.
Same.
Yeah, me too. I think this is all right. We'll go back to the kind of aristocrat strategy that you love to do, Dave. Is this going in the deck?
Going in like an aristocrats EDH deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't care about what my life does, especially in aristocrats deck, because chances are there's a blood artist style effect in play anyway. So pay 1 life is flavor text. Sacrifice another creature is what the deck wants to do, and who doesn't love treasures?
Monsters.
Especially ones that don't come in tapped. They're the best. But let's move on to our final card we're talking about today. This is a new land. It's called Spymaster's Vault. It's a land that says it enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a swamp. You can tap it to add a black mana, and it has another ability you can pay a black mana, tap it. Target creature you control connives X, where X is the number of creatures that died this turn. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Giving black a way to card draw on a land, which I think is very unique when it doesn't come to getting rid of your life. Yeah, this card seems pretty good.
I like that it doesn't have to always come in tapped.
And I like the art here too. It's like souls just chilling.
Like it's on Capenna or something.
Yeah, dude, that's where connives came from.
Oh yeah, duh.
This card is very good.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just trying to think about how good.
Yeah, if you board wipe and keep 1 creature alive and then connive that many times. I'm just talking from an EDH standpoint at this point, but that's really good card draw. And also, don't forget, For every non-land permanent that you toss, it gets a +1/+1 counter.
I mean, this is going to be able to fuel up your graveyard, which black already cares about. And I'm not even thinking about board wipe. Like board wipe, that's cool. That's like probably where this card is like at its peak.
Mhm.
Maybe actually, no, not even at that point because you want to have target creatures. So like you still have to be able to have like a creature in play for you to be able to take advantage of it. But like just on like on a given turn, I mean, somebody goes to combat and swings in and like a creature or two block, like draw a card, discard a card, and buff one of your creatures. That sounds pretty consistently good. I mean, like I love War Room, and this is cheaper, has the ability to tap for a color. The only downside is this isn't necessarily like it's not card. It's not card draw per se, and like you're not increasing your hand size, but it is filtering.
Filtering with upside.
It is filtering with upside.
Yeah.
It does have a little bit more of a hoop though, right? Because War Room's great because you can do it at any time, but this, you gotta make sure something dies.
That's why if you have something like Warren Soultrader on the field, you go ahead and sacrifice something.
That's true.
Trigger this. I think this is also, like, again, that card we just talked about, Warren Soultrader. Aristocrat strategy. This probably slots right into that, too.
Yeah. Or what you could do is you could sacrifice something, make a treasure with Warren Soultrader, use that treasure to then pay for the black on the Spymaster's vault. I think these two cards were they were meant to be together.
They were meant to be together. But that is going to do it for us today. If you guys liked that video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, so you're staying up to date with all these spoilers as they're coming out every single day. But before we wrap up, let's talk about our favorite cards. We will start with Dave. Dave, what was your favorite card today?
Warren Soultrader. Not even close.
Shane, do you have a favorite card that we talked about today?
I do. The Blue Moon.
The Blue
Harbinger
Moon.
of the Seas.
Yeah, it's a good card. I think I'm just going to go and stick to the main card again. It's probably Strix Serenade for me. 1-mana counter.
Not bad.
And the art itself is chef's kiss. The icing on top. But again, what was your favorite? Comment down below. Let us know. Always interested to hear what you guys got to say. Also, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Guys at Magic for each one, especially that Instagram if you wanted to check out all the other spoilers that we don't talk about today. In the link in the description. Also on the screen right now, those are all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your added support. It means the world to us. If you guys wanted to see what they're seeing, which is not here on YouTube, check the description as well and consider subscribing. And until the next video, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Later.
Bye.